After having a life-changing transformation, how do you go back to your everyday life? Stay tuned. Damon here with NLP Gem, finding your deeper truth. If you haven't already, please click subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get these videos on a regular basis. So I was talking to a friend, and she went to her first hypnosis training, and it was a long one, and it was a great teacher who was teaching the training, and she went through some major changes and transformations over the period. It was extremely intense, and she was describing it all to me, and from my own experience, I knew what she was telling me was the real deal. She had a real change, a real shift. Deeper truths were revealed to her about herself that she had never known. It was enlightening and full of self-discovery, and I was very happy for her, still very happy for her, having experienced that. Right now, though, she's struggling with how does she take all that and go back into her everyday life, especially with things that she realized she's not anymore. For example, she doesn't want to do the kind of work she used to do. She had known that already. She doesn't want to basically have the same career. She gets back into her everyday life, and the training only reinforced that. She knew more than ever who she is. She knows more than ever who she is. And going back to that old career, it's devastating for her, yet she needs to make money. So she's struggling with that. This really resonates with me because when I started my NLP journey from the very first training, I had a major shift, major transformation, and that was a really difficult thing to go back into my everyday normal living and try to integrate that. And that whole year I kept doing one training after another, an NLP training, a hypnosis training, and finally came back around to master practitioner, my first master practitioner. And I had a huge shift and a huge transformation, and it was revealed to me that my misery was coming from two major places in my life: my work and my marriage. Now, that's a hell of a thing to come to terms with in a few weeks. 2 to be exact. And at the moment that this happened, it was amazing because I felt finally liberated, and it was so freeing to finally know and to finally admit to myself what I had known for a long time. The career that I had chosen was not satisfying, it was not fulfilling, and my marriage was not either. Once I kind of came down from that realization and realized, okay, now I've got to go back into my life, and now I've got to deal with this. The hardest part is that it involved a lot of other people. My wife, my kids, my employees. So how was I going to do that? To say that it was a struggle was an understatement. It was sloppy. It was hard. It was, in some cases, heartbreaking. I started to doubt the changes and the transformations. I started to doubt who I was and if what I'd experienced during the training was even real. I even thought maybe this is the dark side of NLP that people had warned me about. However, I persisted. I stuck to what I knew was me, what was my truth. I stuck to my values and aligned my behavior to those values. The other thing that I struggled with is it seemed to be taking a long time. So over a course of about 3 years, finally my life around me started to reflect. I wouldn't say started to. Within 3 years, my life around me reflected the me inside, the deeper truth that I had discovered. Now I can honestly say I am living my dreams. I have come through to the other side. A mentor of mine said, when you see something through to the end, it liberates you. And that is absolutely true to my experience that I've had. So when you go to one of these trainings, and I hope that if you haven't, you do, and you really experience this, really invest yourself into it, be willing to change, be willing to come to terms with those deeper truths that a lot of times we're not wanting to see. And know that it's not necessarily going to be easy when you take that back to your normal everyday life. The thing to remember is to take full responsibility for who you are. And that means being completely honest with people. Coming back and telling my wife I didn't love her anymore, that was extremely difficult and hard for both of us, you can imagine. Yet I couldn't keep lying anymore. I couldn't keep lying to my employees and pretending like I loved the business that I was in, or that I was excited to be in the business that I was in. Another mentor once told me, the truth will set you free, but it will kick your ass first. And boy, did it. So I came back and I had to be honest. I couldn't run. If I ran, say if I just like picked up my stuff and moved to a different country or something like that, I wouldn't be addressing my problems. I would just be recreating a new life on a faulty foundation, and it would also be a fake life. The message here is when you don't live your truth, you will create a life around you that reflects that. When you discover your deeper truth, and that's an ongoing process. I am in no way saying that I've found it, I've discovered it, and I don't have to do anything else. That's not true. But when you do, and I'm sure you will, if you're watching this and you invest in yourself and you do these trainings, when you discover your deeper truth, you start realizing the facade that you created. And the longer you do that, the greater the collateral damage, the greater the facade that you have to deal with, and the more undoing and destruction that follows. And it's just one of those things, like if you want to build a new, safer house, more modern house, you might have to destroy the old one in doing the process, and that process. And that's what this is about. And that is not easy to do. It is very, very difficult. The thing to remember is to stick with that deeper truth and persist with it. You will come out on the other end. And everybody's journey is different. I can't tell you really how to do that other than just to stick with what you know is true. Check out our website, nlp-gym.com. Follow us on Facebook so you can get real-time updates on upcoming trainings that we're having, free practices as well. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, please subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get these videos on a regular basis. Take care.